For this video, I want to show you how you can draw a domino on Onshape using your iPad. So I'm going to start a new document. I'm going to call this one Domino. Okay. Let that come through. Okay, so for this we're going to be drawing on the top work plane. So I'm going to click on the top work plane, click on top on the My View and top there, and then click on New Sketch. Okay, and it's going to be on the, just check that is on the top work plane there. Okay, I'm going to use my corner rectangle for this one, corner rectangle. I'm going to start by moving my cursor onto the center, like so, and then dragging out to create the shape there. Okay, so the corner was starting from the center, then dragging out. The dimensions for this are going to be 30 by 60. So pencil, dimension tool, click on the side line there, give it a dimension of 60. Okay, there, yeah. And then on the top part there, and we're going to give this a dimension of 30. Okay, so 30 by 60. We'll just zoom in as well. It's going to take off my dimension tool. Okay, so the domino has to have a line going through the middle of it that represents the halfway point. So I'm going to go to my pencil tool, click on the line tool and also the construction line tool. Now, you know that if you hover over a line and move along it, you will get to the halfway point. So just there, the halfway point is where that square appears and the dot, and that tells you that you're halfway along that line. So I'm going to draw my line going across horizontal across to the other side there. And this is a construction line because I have the line drawing tool and the construction line tool selected. Release, and there I have my line drawn. Okay, right. Going to come off those two tools. Right. So the next thing I need to do is to draw the circles for the domino parts. So I'm going to use my center point circles. I'm just going to draw, I'm going to have 3 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So I'm going to draw one circle there. Okay, another circle, tap and then drag out. Okay, and another circle. I'm not too bothered about the position for them, and I just want 3 circles there. And then the bottom part, tap and drag out, tap and drag out. I'm going to roughly get them the same size, tap and drag out, tap and drag out, as long as I've got 4 circles in that space. Okay, right, now we'd like all these circles to be the same size, so release the circle drawing tool. Okay, we're going to use a constraint for this. So what we're going to do is tap the inside of each of the circles so that they're selected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, actually it's not the inside. Now I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to double tap on the screen to deselect. Right, sorry, it's the outer ring. So outer ring, outer ring, outer ring, outer ring, outer ring, outer ring, outer ring. Brilliant. Okay, got those. Okay, then I'm going to tap on my pencil drawing tool and I'm going to look for the equals sign constraint. That's on the bottom row, 3rd one in. Okay, equals. And what that will do, it will set all the sizes of the circles to the same diameter. There we are, they're all in the same diameter. So we set a constraint on that. Now the advantage of this is, now if I go to my dimension tool and I click on one of the edges of the circles, there it has its dimension there, so it's 7.622. Click on that, set that to be 6. All the circles will change at the same time because I've linked them all together now with an equal diameter. Okay, again, if I change that, so I click on that, double click on that, hang on, there we are, that's it. Change it to 7 and they'll all change simply by adding that equals attribute to it. Okay, right, so really cool. Now what I want to do is to line these up. So to help with that, what I'm going to do is to draw some construction lines coming through my shape. So I'm going to go to my pencil drawing tool, click the line drawing tool, click my construction line tool. So I've got those 2 selected. I'm going to start from the top right hand corner there and drag a line going all the way to the mid one there. Yeah. Then I'm going to draw another line. It's going to start from the top left hand corner, so there, and drag that down to there, so I have a cross going through. Then I'm going to start from the top of the second half there and drag it down to that side, and then the same from the mid left point to the bottom right point there. So I've got these two construction line areas coming through. Okay, so the next thing is to align these up with these. So this is where we're going to deselect our construction line, our line drawing tool. Now I'm going to select the center of one of the circles, so center there. Now then I'm going to go to my and I'm going to select the line underneath it, the construction line. So the two things are selected. Okay, then I'm going to go to my pencil line and I'm going to look for the coincident constraint. So that's on the second from last row, first one in, coincident. And what this will enable it to do, it's locked the center of the circle to the construction line that I've just drawn there. Okay, so let's take the third circle, so the center of that one and the construction line, selected both of those, go to my pencil drawing tool, select coincident, and that is now locked to that. Okay, now I can move the circle, I can move it down, but I can't move it sideways. It is locked to that line now. Okay, double tap to deselect. Now I want the center of the middle circle to go to the center of that, so I'll click on that, click on one line. Now I want both lines for this, so I'm going to click because I want it to intersect those two lines. Click on the pencil, coincident, and bingo, then it moves to that point there. And you'll notice it turns black this time because that is entirely locked. The other two circles are they still have movement along the line. Okay, let's do the other circles here. So center, line, coincident, yeah. Center, line, coincident, center, line, coincident, center, line, coincident. Okay, brilliant. They're locked to those points. So those can move along. Oh, sorry, no, on that. Let's just move the whole shape there. Right, now, it'll be handy now to actually set the distance, or to make sure that these are actually vertical and horizontal with each other. Okay, so for this, we're going to select the center of each of the circles in lines. So 1, 2, 3, those three. And again, I'm going to go to my constraint tool here, okay? And I'm going to look for the vertical constraint. Here it is, bottom left, click on that. And that's lined up those three circles vertically. Let's do these three circles on the other side. So center, 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 pencil, vertical constraint, and they line up that way. Now I've still got two more to do, the horizontal ones on the lower half of the domino. So center, center, pencil, horizontal line, center, center, horizontal line there. So they should all be locked in place there. Okay. Well, they're locked in that they can move along the lines, but if I grab one of the circles and I move that in, no, it doesn't really work on the iPad. No, I won't do that. Okay, so they're in place. Now, the next thing is to set the distance from the edge. So I'm going to do a dimension for this. So dimension tool, going to click the edge of the circle and the edge of my rectangle there. Okay, so that at the minute is saying that's 3.19. Okay, let's change that value. Let's make that 5. Yeah, and all of my circles will move in. That's a little bit close. Let's change that. Double click. Let's make that 4. Yeah, that's better. That's a nicer arrangement there for it. But you notice that because we've locked this and because they all have the equal constraint on, they all move exactly the same for us. Okay, brilliant. Okay, for the second part of this, what we need to do is to draw the line that goes in the middle of the domino. This is going to be like the central part here. On the iPad, the easiest way to do that is to, first of all, magnify this up. Go to your pencil drawing tool, pick your center point rectangle, slide to over the construction line until you see the center square appear there, and then drag out a rectangle that's roughly about that size there. Okay, we won't dimension that for the moment. That's in the middle of that. Okay, We're then going to go to our 3-point arc tool, click on the top of the shape, top left-hand corner, the bottom left-hand corner, and then drag to the left, and you should get a nice arc appearing there for that. We're going to do the same on the top right-hand corner, and then the bottom right-hand corner, and then drag to the right. You should get an arc appearing there, okay? And that's nicely in the center of our shape there. We can dimension this as well, so let's take our dimension tool. We'll dimension the thickness, so I'll click on the top line and then the bottom line, and then drag that over, and I should get my dimension there. We're going to make this 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters like so, okay? We'll also do the dimension from the edge of the arc to the edge of the arc there, and drag that down, and we'll make this, let's make this 20 millimeters like that. That's fine. Okay, now a bit of tidy housekeeping as well. We're just going to zoom in on this, and we're just going to delete those 2 little vertical lines there. So you're going to take your snipping tool, your trim tool, and just take out that line and that line there. And then we'll also move along and take out that line and that line there. And now we have our nice shape in the middle of our domino there. Okay? Right. Let's close our sketch. Green tick it. And there we have our domino shape ready to go. Okay, so the next thing is to extrude this. Now we're going to do this in 2 parts. So first of all, we're going to just make that sketch live again. So edit on that, so that's live. Click on the features tool and pick extrude. Now, by default, it will want to come forward 25 millimeters. We want to go the opposite direction, like that. And we're going to go back only 6 millimeters. Okay, 6 millimeters. Right. But before we do that as well, what we're going to do, we want to, if we let this go, if I show you, what it does, it creates the shape with holes going through it, which is not what we want for our domino, okay? So we want to try and make sure that we can actually see these elements here as we go through. So let's, whilst the extrusion is still open, click on the center of each of the circles to bring those back into the shape, and all those parts there to bring them back into the shape there, like so. That's good. Right, now we can tick that. Bingo. Oh, but we've lost our sketch. That's easy to fix though. Let's just switch this to top view again. What we do is we go back to our sketch, click on the eye symbol, so that makes it live again, okay, for us, okay? So that's still live. So we haven't lost our sketch, it's just been hidden. So now we've got an extrusion that's gone backwards. We're now going to click back on our shape, so it's selected, yeah, our sketch. And this time we're going to extrude that going forward. So extrude there, take the extrude tool. And this time we're going to go forward only 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter, yeah, okay. And that's going to, this time, give us a second extrusion, this time going forward, that includes the holes. We want the holes to be included this time. Okay, green tick. So there we have our extrusion with a bit of like a relief that's on top of it. So it's like 2 layers that's there, okay. Now we can start doing some fancy things to it. So the inside of these domino pieces, we can start to filter those off. So I'll fillet them off. So I'm going to click on the outer ring, and make sure you get the outer ring there. That's the one, do it on that line. And that line there, and that line there. And we'll select the other ones here as well. So we'll select that one, and just make sure it is the outer ring you're selecting. We don't want that line there. Oops. That line, that one, that's it. Okay, and that outer line there. Then I'm going to go to my tools. I'm going to pick my fillet tool there. I'm going to set this to 1 millimeter. Okay, 1 millimeter, green tick, and that should give me a nice rounded edge there. I'm also going to do my center point there as well. Now that's tangented all the way around it, so it's picked up the curves and everything, even though I've only selected one line. That's a bit wide, 1 millimeter. Let's make this 0.5 millimeters. That's a bit better. There, that's fine. Green tick that. Now, let's also do the corners of our shape as well. So we'll pick our fillet tool. We'll pick the edge here, there. We'll make this, yeah, we'll leave that on 5, I think, there. And what we can do, we can move around. Let's pick that corner there. Okay, there. Oops, no, I didn't pick the corner. That's undo that. Let's make sure I pick that's the one there. And then we'll rotate this round. Oops, so you can see it. And we'll zoom that in. So pick that edge there. And zoom this in and pick that edge there. Green tick. And there I have my domino created. Okay? All nicely done. Brilliant. Right. Then if you can save that into your area, that'd be fantastic.